You're probably thinking, where have I been? Nowhere, actually. Sometimes life just, life just lifes. And when that happens, I'm gonna take a break. I'm back. Feeling good, feeling great. How are you? For those of you who are new, hi, my name is Tiffany, and welcome to my YouTube channel where I bake and talk about movies at the same time. No, I still haven't figured out what to do with my hands. So these are still weird. Before we get into today's video, just a quick word from our sponsors. Psych! We're not there yet. As I was saying, if you're new to the channel, I like to discuss movies that I grew up watching. So we're talking late 80s, early 2000s. That's our playground right up in there. Which brings me to today's movie, okay? Rosie Perez, Bridget Fonda, Nicolas Cage, and honorable mention Wendell Pierce, the 1994 film, It Could Happen to You. If you've seen the movie, no the fuck it couldn't, and it wouldn't, okay? And it fucking wouldn't. Everybody thinks Rosie Perez is the villain in this film. She's not. She's not actually. Younger Tiffany thought she was a villain. Older Tiffany thinks she's just about her money. Yeah, let's just get into it. I just want to point out that it is Virgo season, and if you don't know me, I am a Virgo, so I'm in a really good mood. So I just thought you guys should know that. So in preparation for this channel, I watched like hella old movies from back in the day, and I compiled a list of movies that I wanted to talk about. And this one wasn't on my list. My friend actually suggested this one for me. Hey, Michelle. So shout out to Michelle for bringing this one back to light. So the movie is set in New York in the 90s. I want to say they're in the Bronx or Brooklyn. Either way, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where it is. Charlie Lang is a New York City cop, and he's just the nicest guy, right? Everybody loves him. His community loves him. He doesn't racial profile or anything. He's just great. He is married. He has a wife. Her name is Murial, and she is I want to say a hairdresser, a stylist, a beautician. What do you guys like to call yourselves these days? Either way, she wants more out of life, and I feel like we can all relate to that, especially now, okay? So that's Charlie and his wife Muriel, right? So before Charlie gets off work, he goes and plays some lotto numbers that his wife has given him, right? So when he gets home, Muriel, his wife, is asking him, hey, did you play the lotto numbers? He lets her know, yeah. He gives her the ticket, like, okay, here's the numbers. Here you go. Muriel looks at the lotto ticket and she's like, wait a minute. One of these numbers is wrong. So she's going off because, god damn it, one of the numbers is wrong. And he's just cool as a cucumber because he's such a great guy. He's like, we're not going to win anyway. It's going to be fine. Like, just shake it off, man. Shake it off. So one day, Charlie and his partner, Bo, are about to grab some lunch, right? They go into this diner and they're about to eat. So the waitress comes over. She's about to take their order. And Charlie notices that she seems a little flustered, like her day isn't going great. He can notice that, but not the wrong lottery numbers. But let's get into this waitress. Yvonne Biazzi. So earlier that day, Yvonne was at the courthouse trying to get pardoned for some credit card charges. Apparently her husband had ran up all her fucking credit cards, and now these people are after her because they want their money. But she's trying to tell the judge, like, I don't have the money. I didn't do that. Well, sis, without evidence, you're gonna have to pay. Unfortunately, she can't pay, so she has to file for bankruptcy. And that is why she's in such a shitty mood when Charlie Lang and his partner come in to have lunch. So Yvonne's in like a shitty mood, right? And the whole time, Charlie's like trying to crack jokes and, make her smile, make her day better. And the whole time I'm thinking, I wonder if he would have that same energy if his wife was sitting next to him. Probably not. Like, you don't even know her last name. You all kiki in her face and shit. The fuck? However, Yvonne is like super annoyed. You know, she just had to file for bankruptcy, so she's not trying to hear his little jokey jokes. Even his partner's like, are you flirting with her low key? And he's like, no, I'm just trying to make her day better, you know, just trying to be nice. Before Charlie and his partner can even get into lunch, they get a call on the radio and they gotta go. Yvonne had just brought them coffee, so she's like low-key annoyed that she already put in the order and they already gotta leave. As Charlie's leaving, he realizes he doesn't have enough for a tip. All she did was bring you a cup of coffee. So since he doesn't have enough for a tip, he offers to give her half of his lottery winnings if he wins, right? Remember, he was telling his wife, we're probably not gonna win anyway. So yeah, why not just offer this lady half of my lottery winnings if I win? So that night, the lotto numbers come out. And guess what? They win. He wins the fucking lottery. His wife Murial is ecstatic, okay? She's acting the way any of us would act if we were to win the lottery. She's screaming, she's yelling, she's so fucking happy. Charlie, on the other hand, looks sick as fuck. He now has to tell his wife, hey, I actually promised half of our winnings to some random waitress I was low-key flirting with at the diner today. So he has to tell his wife, hey babe, I kind of promised half of our earnings to some chick at the diner I just met today. So, I love you. Murial is pissed, as she should be. As she fucking should be, okay? She's begging him, please, for once, just don't mean what you say. Just let this go. And of course, Charlie's like, yeah, I can't, you know, I promised her, and yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta do it. She's like, if you love me, you won't do this. So he's torn. He doesn't know what to do. Even his partner's like, hey bro, don't do that. Don't. But Charlie is a kind-hearted gentleman. So he goes back to the diner the very next day, right? Once he found out that he won, he goes back to the diner. He's got a gift in hand, right? He wants it to be her decision. Either she's going to take half my earnings, or she can take this wonderful gift that I've purchased. So he goes up to her and he's like, hey, so I came back. You can either have this lovely gift that I've purchased, or you can have half of my lottery winnings. So she's like, I'll play you a silly game. I want half the lottery. And he's like, okay, well, I won the lottery. She's thinking he's playing. No, I'm actually really serious. I won the lottery. So she's ecstatic. She's overjoyed, as she should be. He like picks her up and like tosses her around and shit. And I'm like, would you be doing this if your wife was here? The answer is no. Yeah, no, you wouldn't. So he's giving Yvonne half of the money that he's won in the lottery, which is $2 million. This is the 90s, so $2 million is literally everything. And to me, this is where the movie gets really interesting. So his wife, Murial, is doing what any person would do if they won the lottery, right? She is spending the money. She's going shopping. She's updating the apartment. She's doing the most. Charlie is also spending money, but he's spending it on everybody else. He donates some of the money to the NYPD, because he's a cop, right? One day he runs into Yvonne while like getting on the subway or about to get on the subway, and him and Yvonne hand out quarters for everybody on the subway. What? So obviously news gets back to his wife that, hey, your husband was just spotted at the subway with Yvonne, the woman that he gave half your money to. They're at the subway paying for everybody's fares. Of course, the wife is pissed because why are you skirting around town with this white bitch spending all my money? So fast forward a little bit. There's a yacht event for all of the lottery winners one night, right? Of course, Charlie and his wife Murial go. And obviously, old girl gonna be there too, Yvonne, right? And you can tell in the movie, you can tell Charlie's looking for Yvonne. He's like looking around. He can't see her. He goes outside and he looks over and he sees her pull up in a cab. And he also sees that she's having a little trouble with the cabbie, right? Homeboy gets off of the boat, okay? He gets off of the boat and goes sees what's going on with her. He like runs down there to see if everything's okay with her. So he reaches her, and all the issue is that she needed change for the cab because all she had is a 20 and the cab driver didn't have change. So while this is happening, the yacht has pulled the fuck off. Charlie isn't on it. Yvonne isn't on it. He's all dressed up in a suit. She's got on a whole ass gown. So instead of them going home, they go on a date. They go get something to eat. They go for a little walk in the park. Like, you know you married, right? And so are you, Yvonne. While they're at dinner, there's like music playing. So they're like slow dancing, hella close. Like, bruh, you're married. While they're slow dancing, they low-key would look like they want to kiss. But they don't. They don't. But they look like it though. So his little date is over with, right? Because Charlie has to get back to the yacht. His wife is on it. So as he's like walking back to the dock, he's like trying to make up some excuse as to why he wasn't on the yacht. And my thing is, if you wasn't out doing dirt, why you need to make up an excuse? True enough, his wife did not know that he wasn't even on the boat, but that's not the point. So some time goes by, right? Charlie and Yvonne have been hanging out a lot. They like rented out a stadium, Yankee Stadium now. They rented out Yankee Stadium and had like a field day for all the neighborhood kids, right? It was super sweet. However, isn't that something you should be doing with your wife? True enough, that might not be her scene. You know, his wife, that might not be her scene. But I bet you he didn't even ask. But I know he didn't ask because once that little field day was over and he had to go back home, his wife was throwing his shit out the apartment. Why do you ask? Because again, she had to hear that her husband was skirting around town with the chick he gave half the lottery money to. And this is the early 90s, okay? So internet where? You heard about stuff either via news or newspaper. That's it. I mean, put yourself in the wife's shoes for a moment, okay? Your husband has not only given half of your money to a stranger, to a woman he just met, but now he's actively hanging out with her behind your back at that. And you had to hear about it on the news. Your husband didn't even tell you. So she asked him, right? She's like, hey, are you having an affair with this woman? And he's like, no, I'm not. Like, she just understands me and blah, blah, blah. Charlie and his wife clearly want different things. So Muriel just come out and say, hey, I want a divorce. And you can't stay here no more. So she kicks him out and he stays at the Four Seasons. Why not, right? I just won $2 million. The same day that happens, Yvonne's husband shows up and is like, hey, I'm gonna need some of that money. And I'm not leaving until you give it to me. So now she's left her apartment and guess where she's gonna go stay? At the Four Seasons. So as she's like checking into the hotel, she turns around and who does she see? It's Charlie. So they're thinking to themselves, oh my God, this just has to be fate. And they actually get busy that night. Yeah, they have sex. They sure do. Mm-hmm. He's a good man, Savannah. A good man. Bullshit. I just kicked you out and you already under someone else? What if I wanted to talk about it in the morning or something? Like, what if I had a change of heart? Like, I don't understand. So eventually, Charlie and his wife Murial sit down with a divorce lawyer. And Murial wants the money that he promised old girl. And he's steady trying to defend her, like, no, leave her out of this. Don't do this, Murial. No. And Muriel's like, yeah, fuck that bitch. I want my money back. And I want it back today. Because you been loved her. You've been in love with this bitch. You got me looking stupid. So they go to court. And Muriel wins. Yvonne has to pay back the money. That's it. That's all. Yvonne actually purchased the diner that she was working in. So now that she has to give the money back, she can no longer afford the diner. And she has to eventually sell it. So Charlie and Yvonne go by the diner, one last time, just to say bye. And they notice there's hella fucking mail on the ground. So they start opening the mail and they realize this is from regular citizens. People are writing in, sending them money so they can live well and happy together. What? People have spent money on postage, okay? And have given their hard-earned money to this adulterer and his mistress so they can have a great life together. There were so many people that had sent them letters that the total amount of money that was sent was like 500 grand or something like that. And that's it. That's the end of the movie. They live happily ever after together. They fly off into the sunset in a hot air balloon, which, by the way, I looked up hot air balloon prices. They're like $500 per person. As they're in this hot air balloon, they're like releasing these paper hearts to all of New York as a thank you. If I worked for the sanitation department, I'd be pissed the fuck off. Would you have kept your promise and given away half your lottery winnings? And let me know what you think about Muriel. Do you think she was the villain? Or do you think Yvonne is the villain? But thank you for joining, and until next time, guys. Bye. Thank you guys for tuning in today's video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.